Hello friends, how are you? After finishing our chapter 3rd, Atom and Molecule, in today's class we will discuss about its exercise numericals, because this chapter numericals are little bit harder rather than chapter 1st and 2nd. In chapter 1st and 2nd there was just a theoretical portion, but here mathematical calculations, the concept questions are there, so I decided to discuss about that. Okay, now the first question is: 0.24 gram sample of compound of oxygen and boron was found by analysis to contain 0.096 gram of boron and 0.144 gram of oxygen. Calculate the percentage composition of the compound by weight. In this question, there are three values. One is amount of boron in the sample, second is amount of oxygen in the sample, and the third is the total amount of sample. That means here the mass of oxygen and mass of boron and the total mass of sample is given. And as you know, the percentage composition formula is the mass of particular element divided by mass of total sample and percentage, so that is multiplied by 100. So that if we consider the percentage of oxygen, that is point mass of oxygen 0.144 divided by 0.24 multiplied by 100, so the percentage is 60%. Got it? Similarly, percentage of boron 0.09 divided by 0.24 multiplied by 100, so the answer becomes 40%. Clear? So in this way we can solve the numericals which is based on percentage composition. Now the second question that is important for us: when 3 gram of carbon is burnt in 8 gram oxygen, 11 gram of carbon dioxide is formed. That means when the 3 gram of carbon react with the 8 gram of oxygen, then it forms 11 gram of carbon dioxide. Now the question, the part of question, that is what mass of carbon dioxide will be formed when 3 gram carbon burnt in 50 gram of oxygen? Which law of chemical combination will govern your answer? That means we have to tell that for 3 gram carbon and 50 gram oxygen, how much carbon dioxide will form, and on the basis of which law we give that answer. Clear? So let me discuss it. The carbon oxygen react and make carbon dioxide. If we consider their masses, then you know that the atomic mass of carbon is 12U, the atomic mass of oxygen is 16 in 2 atoms, so 16 into 16, that is 32U, that is molecular mass. And now if they combine and make the carbon dioxide, so that is 12 plus 16 and 16, 32, that is 44U. So the atomic masses of carbon is 12U, molecular mass of oxygen is 32U, and that is 44U carbon dioxide. If we take them into the molar mass, then we can say that 12 gram carbon dioxide, convert them into gram, so that is its molar mass is 32 gram. If we convert it, that is becomes 44 gram. Okay, so we can say that when 12 gram carbon react with the 32 gram oxygen, then it form 44 gram carbon dioxide. Okay, it form 44 gram carbon dioxide. If we simplify them, then we can divide by the 4. If we divide by 4, 4, 4, then the answer becomes the 3 gram carbon dioxide react with the 8 gram oxygen and form 11 gram of carbon dioxide. 3 gram carbon react with the 8 gram oxygen and form 11 gram carbon dioxide. That means we can say that 3 gram carbon, for the 3 gram carbon we required 8 gram of oxygen. We required 8 gram of oxygen because, as you know, that law of constant proportion said that elements of n molecule are always in a constant proportion. Their ratio is always constant. So here it is clear that 3 gram carbon react with the 8 gram of oxygen only and form 11 gram of carbon dioxide. That means we can say that 3 gram carbon will react with the 8 gram oxygen and gives 11 gram carbon dioxide. The remaining 42 will unreacted. It is, you consider it is simply that suppose there are three persons and totally they can eat 8 chapatis. 8 chapati. Now the question is, if there is 40 or 50 chapatis are there, then how much they will eat? Their capacity is only 8. The satisfaction level, that is 8. So they will eat only 8. The 42, the remaining 42 or 32, how much that we take in starting, will remain unused by them. Similar concept is here. 3 gram carbon required 8 gram oxygen. So the remaining 42 is just a waste, or we can say that is not useful for that carbon, that amount of carbon. So that remain unreacted. This answer is based on the law of constant proportion because they combined in a constant ratio. Okay. Now, third question is, what is polyatomic ion? Give example. That is a pure theoretical question and I think you can do that. The fourth question is, write the chemical formula of the followings. Write the chemical formula of followings. First is magnesium chloride. The magnesium valency or charge, that is 2, chlorine, that is 1. So multiplied that. So the formula becomes MgCl2. Here second is calcium oxide, 2, 2. Simplify them because as we consider that it is always in a simple ratio, that is 1, 1. So when we multiply them, that formula becomes CaO. Similar like that. I think the remaining 3 questions you can do the similar concept which we use here. Okay, clear? Now let me move to our next question, the fifth question, that is, write the name of elements present in the followings. We have to tell the name of elements present in the followings. First is quicklime. Quicklime is general name and its chemical name is calcium oxide. So its chemical formula becomes CaO. So there are two elements, one is calcium and other is oxygen. So the answer is elements are calcium and oxygen. Similarly, hydrogen bromide, HBr. So you can tell that one is hydrogen and one is bromine. Baking powder. The chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate. And its formula is NaHCO3. So the elements are nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon and oxygen. So you have to write the answer here. The fourth is potassium sulfate. K2SO4. So the elements are potassium, sulfur and oxygen. Got it? Now the sixth question, that is, calculate the molar mass of followings. Okay. The first one is ethene. The first example of that is ethene. We have to calculate the molar mass of ethene. The chemical formula of ethene is C2H2, that is C2H2. And you know that in molar mass we add all the atomic masses. We add all the atomic masses. Here two carbon atoms and atomic mass of one carbon atom is 12. So the total of carbon is 2 into 12. Similarly, there are two hydrogens and the mass of one hydrogen is 1. So that is 2 into 1. Now add them. So the answer becomes 26 gram. Got it? The next question to calculate the molar mass, that is sulfur molecule. In the sulfur molecule, there are 8 sulfur atoms combined. Since the atomic mass of one sulfur atom is 32, so the total mass will be 8 into 32. The answer is 254 gram. Similarly, phosphorus, the atomic mass of phosphorus, one atom is 31. Here in phosphorus molecule there are 4. So 4 into 31, the answer becomes 124 gram. Got it? Now, next question is our hydrochloric acid. We have to calculate the atomic mass of hydrochloric acid. The formula of hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. So combine the atomic masses. There is one hydrogen, so 1 chlorine, 35.1 atomic mass of 1 chlorine, so add that one. So when we combine, the answer becomes 36.5 gram. Similarly, nitric acid, HNO3. Nitric acid, that is HNO3. Here one hydrogen, one nitrogen and 3 oxygen. So when we total that atomic masses of all, then 1 into 1 for hydrogen, 1 into 14 for nitrogen, 3 into 16 for oxygen. So the total becomes 16. Got it? Clear? Now the next question is, what is the masses of? Now there is, with the in this question there are number of moles have given and we have to convert them into atomic into their mass. The formula is very simple, as you know that number of moles is equals to given mass divided by molar mass, and we have to know that. So we can say that m is equals to n into m. That means in all of these questions we multiplied the number of moles into its molar mass. Okay, the first one is 1 mole of nitrogen atom. 1 mole of nitrogen atom. So there is 1 into molar mass of nitrogen atom, 1 into molar mass of nitrogen atom, and you know that atomic mass, molar mass of nitrogen, that means atomic mass of nitrogen is 14. So 1 into 14, the answer becomes 14 gram. Now 4 mole of aluminium atoms. 4 mole of aluminium atoms. For that, firstly we calculate the mass of 1 mole aluminium. Mass of 1 mole aluminium. So there is 1 mole atomic mass of oxygen, aluminium, that is 27. So 1 mole mass is 27 gram. So we can say that mass of 1 mole aluminium is 27 grams. So the mass of 4 mole, that is multiplied by 4. Got it? So 4 into 27, that is answer is 108 grams. Similarly, 10 mole of sodium sulfite. Sodium sulfite. Sodium sulfite chemical formula is Na2SO3. Na2SO3. So firstly we have to calculate the mass of the 1 mole. For the calculate the mass of 1 mole, we add all the atomic masses. since there is two sodium, one and the atomic mass of one sodium is 23, so it becomes 2 into 23. One sulfur, and sulfur is 32, so 1 into 32. Three oxygen, and each oxygen has 16 atomic mass, so 3 into 16, so total becomes 126 gram. That means 1 mole of sodium sulfite is 126 gram. So 10 mole multiplied by 10. Okay. Now the eighth question is convert into mole. Now there is mass is given, and we have to convert them, and we have to convert them into number of moles. Similar things, that is from the mass, as you know, number of moles is equals to given mass divided by molar mass. Got it? So here in the first question, that is 12 gram of oxygen. 12 gram of oxygen. The molar mass of oxygen is 2 into 16, so that is 32. So N is m upon m, 12 upon 32. The answer is clear. Similarly, 20 gram of water. 20 gram of water. Given mass 20 gram. Molar mass of water is 18 gram, because water, that means H2O. Water means H2O. Two hydrogens, so 2. One oxygen is 16, so 2 plus 16, that is 18. Now put the values in formula, so the answer becomes that. Similarly, now 22 gram of carbon dioxide. 22 gram of carbon dioxide. Given mass, that molar mass, as we calculated just few minutes before, or if you forget, then let me rewind it. Carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon is 12, oxygen is 2 into 16, because there is 2 oxygen, so the total becomes 16 to the 32 plus 12, that is 44 gram. Clear? So N is m upon m. Put the values, the answer becomes 0.5 mole. Clear? Now the ninth question, what is the mass of 0.2 mole oxygen atom? Similar question as we discussed in the case of 7. Here the number of moles are given, and you have to calculate, the number of the mass. Okay. First one, 0.2 mole oxygen atom. The number of moles given. Molar mass of oxygen atom, since it is atom, so that is only 1, so that is 16. So m is equals to n into m, because the formula was similar, m upon m. If we have to calculate m, so the formula becomes n into m. Clear? So 0.2 into 16, the answer is 3.2 gram. Next one is 0.5 mole water molecule. 0.5 mole water molecule, since similar, number of moles given, molar mass, so m into m is equals to n into m. Multiply them and you will get the answer. Now our last question, that is calculate the number of moles of sulfur. Sorry, not the last, one more thing, that is calculate the number of molecules of sulfur, that means S8, in 16 gram of solid sulfur. Now there is given mass, and we have to find the number of particles, the number of molecules. As you know, number of moles is related with the masses, molecular mass and given mass, and it also related with the particle and Avogadro number. Clear? So by using them, we can easily calculate that. Molar mass of sulfur, again we have to calculate. that is 8 atom, and 1 atom atomic mass is 32. So the answer becomes the molar mass is 256 gram. Now given mass is 16 gram. As you know, N is equals to M upon M, and N is equals to also N upon N0. So they are also equal. So the formula becomes M upon M is equals to N upon N0. Now we have to calculate N. So clear? Cross multiply N0 to here. Now put the values. When we put the values, the answer is that one. Clear? Now let me discuss the last numerical of this chapter, that is calculate the number of aluminium ion present in 0.051 gram of aluminium oxide. Clear? Now one thing let me clear you that a neutral atom or ion, there is no change in atomic mass. There is no change in atomic mass. So the mass of aluminium or aluminium ion will be same. Okay. Now we have to find that number of aluminium ions in that amount of aluminium oxide. In that amount of aluminium oxide. If we consider the example that 1 Al2O3, if we ionize, then it will give 2 aluminium ion. Will give 2 aluminium ion. So if we calculate the total number of that ion, that molecule, then by multiplying that we can easily calculate the number of aluminium ions. And for that we have to make the relationship between the molar mass and Avogadro number. As you know, molar, if we calculate the molar mass, if we calculate its molar mass, then 2 into 27.27, because the atomic mass of aluminium is 27, so there is 2 aluminium, so 2 into 27 plus 16 into 3 because of the oxygen. So the answer becomes 102. That means 102, when we take 102 gram aluminium oxide, then it will be equal to its 1 mole. It will be equals to its 1 mole. And as you know, in 1 mole there is number of particles equals to Avogadro number, that means 6.022 into 10 to the power 20. That means if we take that one, if we take Al2O3 is equal to 102 gram, then the particles of aluminium oxide Al2O3 will be 6 into 20, 6.022 into 20 multiplied by 10 to the power 20. Clear? And since one aluminium oxide gives the 2 aluminium ion, so we can say that 102 gram aluminium contain 2 into, because 102 gram is equal to that particle of aluminium oxide and 1 is giving 2 aluminium, so the total number of aluminium ion will be 2 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Got it? That is for 105. And the question there is 0.05, 0.051. So if we calculate it, then 102 given that, so 1 given 2 divided by that value, and 0.05 then multiplied by 0.051. And when we calculate completely, then the answer becomes 0.006 in 6022 into 10 to the power 23, multiply 3 10 to power here, so get we answer a digit. So when we multiply the 3 10 to power here, then the answer becomes 6.022 into 10 to power 20 aluminium ions. Okay, so That was the numericals of that chapter. If anyone have any doubt related about that, then you can put your question in comment box also, in school app or in WhatsApp. Anyone, any procedure you can follow. Okay. Hope you like it. Thank you.